Today I'll talk about series of isothermal constant hold-up CSTR. Now here is a system description. The system consists of three perfectly mixed CSTR in series, where product B is produced and reactant A is consumed by first order reaction. So the reaction is first order, and temperature and hold-ups of the tanks are constant. So here V1, so this is tank 1, this is tank 2 and tank 3. So V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V3 and T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T3. So both are constant and identical across all the reactor. The system is assumed to be binary mixture of A and B with constant density. So here density is also constant. Now here Fa0 is the volumetric flow rate at the inlet, and ρ0 is the density at inlet, and Ca0 is the concentration of the component A at the inlet. Now that reactant A is entering the reactor 1, and this then product as well as some amount of reactant is coming out. So that flow rate is F1, and concentration from the concentration of reactant A at the outlet from the reactor 1, so that is Ca1, and then it actually entered the reactor 2 and again coming out with flow F2 and concentration of the reactant A, that is Ca2, again that is entered to the reactor 3 and coming out with flow rate F3 and concentration Ca3. Now here first we are going to do total mass balance. So total mass balance in each tank is constant, so because the volume and density are the constant, therefore the total continuity equation for each reactor is d dt of rho V1, so rho is density, V1 is the volume, so that is mass, dm dt or d dt of rho V1 is equal to rho into F0, so inflow rate minus rho F1, so outflow rate, so that is equal to 0 because volume is constant and rho is constant, so this term is 0. So rho F0 minus rho F1 is 0. So from that F1 is equal to F0. Similarly for the tank 2 and tank 3, F3 is equal to F2 is equal to F1 is equal to F0, that is F. Now here F is the throughput and unit is meter cube per minute. Now first we have to do the component A valence equation on the reactor 1. So we know that component A valence equation. So time rate of change of moles of component A inside reactor 1 is equal to flow of moles of A component into reactor 1 and flow of moles of A component out of the reactor 1 and rate of formation of the mole A component from the chemical reaction. So now if I write each term, so time rate of change of A, so that is nothing but d B1 C1 Ca1 by dt, and flow of A into reactor A1, so that is FCA0, and flow of A out of the reactor 1, so that is FC1, and then rate of formation of A from the reaction, so that is minus V1 KC1, so that is nothing but RA into V1. Now if you plug all together, so V1 dCA1 dt, because V1 is constant, and then dCA1 by dt is equal to FCA0 minus CA1 minus V1 K1 CA1. So now similarly, now here, okay, rate of formation of A from the reaction. So what is RA? So in continuous stirred tank reactor, the rate formation, actually here consumption of a reactant is given by the reaction rate multiplied by the volume of the reactor. For the first order reaction where reactant A is consumed to form product B, the reaction can be written as A to B, and reaction rate RA is given by is equal to minus KCA. So here K is the reaction rate constant and Ca is the concentration of the reactant A. Unit is mole per volume. So now here, so total rate of consumption of A in the reactor is the product of the reaction rate A RA and volume V of the reactor. So total rate of the formation A is V into RA. So now here minus B KCA. So here minus term is coming because of A consumption. This is the term appear in the component balance equation. So that will be d into VCA by dt, so is equal to inflow of mass minus outflow of mass minus consumption of mass. So here the negative sign indicates that A is being consumed, not produced in the reaction. V is the volume of the reactor, and we scale the reaction rate by the total volume, and KCA represent the rate at which A is consumed per unit volume. So now we already got that component A valence equation at reactor 1. Now reactor 2, similar that mass balance equation. So time rate of change of moles of component A inside reactor 2 is equal to moles flow of moles of A component into reactor 2 and minus flow of moles of A component out of the reactor 2 and rate of formation of moles of A component from the chemical reaction. So now again we have to calculate, we have to write each term. So time rate of change of A, so that is d dt of V2CA. So here V2 is constant, so V2 into dCA2 by dt, and flow of A into reactor 2, that is FCA1 and flow of A out of the reactor 2, that is FCA2, and rate of formation of A from the reaction, so that is minus V2 K2CA. This is again RA at reactor 2. So now if we plug all this, so V2 dCA2 by dt is equal to FCA1 minus CA2 minus V2 K2CA2. Similarly, if we do that component A valence equation for reactor 3, so time rate of change of moles of component A inside the reactor 3, flow of moles of A component in reactor 3, flow minus flow moles A component out of the reactor 3, rate of formation of moles of A component from chemical reaction. So again if I plug all together, so V3 dCA3 by dt is equal to FCA2 minus CA3 is equal to minus V3 K3 CA3. So we will get that. Now Arrhenius equation for reaction rate. So Arrhenius equation, the specific reaction rate KPI or KI, you can write that for each reactor given by Arrhenius equation, that is KI is equal to AI e to the power minus EY RTI. So AI is the pre-exponential reactor factor for reactor Y, and E is the activation energy, R is the universal gas constant, and Ti is the temperature of the reactor I. So here T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T3. So we can write K1 is equal to K2 is equal to K3, and it is a faster reaction. So K is here reaction rate constant. Now for the component continuity equation for reactor 1, so we have this equation V1 dCA1 by dt is equal to FCA0 minus CA1 minus V1 K1 CA1. So now if I divide with V1, and we know V1 is equal to V, so ultimately equation will be dC1 by dt is equal to F by V CA0 minus CA1, and V1 cancel, so K1 CA1. Now we know that the residence time tau is nothing but V by F, so we can write dCA1 by dt is equal to 1 by tau CA0 minus CA1 minus K1 CA1. Now for that okay, so combine equation. So if I reorganize this equation, so it will be like something. So dC1 by dt plus K1 1 by tau CA1 is equal to 1 by tau CA0. So this is the final equation for reactor 1. Similarly for that again if I do similar way, this reactor 2 will get this equation dC1 by d2 K2 plus K2 that whole of K2 plus 1 by tau into CA2 is equal to 1 by tau CA1. Now for this reactor 3, so again final reactor 3 V3 dC3 by dt is equal to F CA2 minus CA3 minus V3 K3 CA3 divided by V. So V3 is equal to V, so that will get the dCA3 by dt is equal to 1 by tau CA2 minus CA3 minus K3 CA3. If I reorganize, we'll get dCA3 by dt plus K3 plus 1 by tau CA3 is equal to 1 by tau CA2. So this is the final equation for reactor 3. So now here so we know that V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V3, and K1 is equal to K2 is equal to K3 is equal to K, and tau 1 is equal to tau 2 is equal to tau 3 is equal to tau. So all this equation will be dCA1 by dt plus K plus 1 by tau CA1 is equal to 1 by tau CA0 dCA2 by dt plus K plus 1 by tau Ca2 is equal to 1 by tau Ca1, and dC3 by dt plus whole K plus 1 by tau Ca3 is equal to 1 by tau Ca2. So this equation we will get for series of 3 CSTR with constant hold up and constant temperature. That's it. Thank you.